In this first ever TGtv, we're going to talk about feedback, receiving it and giving it. My intention with TGtv is to check in weekly-ish with things that are showing up in my clients' lives, things that are going on in my readers' lives that they're asking me about, and not too coincidentally things that are probably showing up in my own life. So further to that, what's been showing up an awful lot lately in my life has been feedback. It's deeply rooted in the Boarding for Life program that I've created and just launched out into the world. I'm getting a lot of feedback on the product that I've just launched into the world. I'm getting asked to deliver feedback from a lot of people. I'm being asked to speak about it. It's showing up in my clients' lives. It's showing up kind of everywhere. So it's feeling like a hot topic, at least in my corner of the world. So let's dive in. If the idea of feedback strikes terror in your heart, you're totally not alone. There is a direct relationship between the level of emotion and proximity to your heart of an issue. If you want to tell me that I don't do a very good job of my accounting and here's some feedback on that, bring it on. I am an open book. Tell me that there are some things that I'm doing in my parenting realm and I will come through the computer screen. Not quite. But I will be very defensive. And I probably won't invite it. And on the spectrum from bookkeeping to parenting, my business is a little closer to here and I feel very, very vested. So feedback in business can be really challenging. But here's what I'm learning. The person giving you feedback is offering feedback from their perspective, from their life experiences. They believe it to be your truth, but it's really their truth. This can be really helpful, and we want different perspectives on our businesses because we're only looking at it from this one way. So that counterpoint is actually really valuable, and it's not necessarily the truth. Breathe and listen. Breathe into it. It can be really challenging to receive feedback, but recognize, again, the intention being a place of love. So you've been breathing it in and listening, breathing it in and listening. We're not talking about absorbing, we're just talking about listening. So you're just gathering the information. Before you've done anything with the information, thank them for the gift. Yikes, this can be really, really hard, especially if it's an issue that's really close proximity to your heart and you're feeling very triggered by it. Thank them for the gift. Now that you have received the information, that you're holding it, you haven't integrated it, you're just holding the information, now you get to sort of pull it apart. What about this felt painful? Is it something that I've known I've had to do for a long time and I've been resisting? Is that what it is? Is it ego? So listen to what's underneath the resistance. So what is true for you? There's this great quote, our own sense of the truth is the most important piece when taking in information from an external source. The brilliant news here is that you are the ultimate authority. Integrate. Take what's true for them, what's true for you, meld it together, turf the rest. Aha! Giving feedback. Easy, right? First thing I think it's really important to know about giving feedback is make sure you have permission. This cannot be overstated. You have to have permission before you offer feedback, and that really just looks like a very simple invitation. Can I offer you some feedback on this? Yes? No. No? Back the heck away. Yes? Proceed with caution. Number 2, as much as you're able, try to understand the whole picture rather than just the teeny little slice that you might be looking at. There are probably lots of other factors at play, and while I'm not suggesting it be your life's work to understand the fullness of this issue, do recognize that there are other pieces. Recognize the perspective that you're in right now, that you're seeing it through your own lens. That is not the lens of somebody else. It is not their truth. So that's often why you hear about, in delivering feedback, using I language. I am seeing this. That keeps it in the realm of, here's my perspective, this is the impact on me, as opposed to, you're doing this. Be specific. That gives the person you're offering the feedback to something tangible to be able to really dig into and to actually make some changes, as opposed to just trying to butt up against some nebulous sort of, I don't really know if that's what I'm doing, or be specific. Focus on one or two aspects. And while I don't like the combative language in this expression, just pick your battles. Find the two things that are really going to help move this person forward in the best way that you know how, and leave it at that. Number 6. No matter how sensitive, how deft you've been, there's probably going to be a little bit of defensiveness. So don't get into a voting situation. You don't need to win this. You've delivered your feedback in a respectful, permission-based, concise, specific way. You've done everything that you can, and it's now up to them to integrate. Which leads me to the final point, which is, don't expect them to take all of your changes and use all of them. Remembering that just as you are the ultimate authority, they too get to be the ultimate authority. So in both cases, whether you're receiving or giving feedback, there's a way in which to hold the whole process very lightly, recognize the gift inherent in feedback, recognize that whether you're giving or receiving, you're in a perspective about this situation that is not necessarily the truth that's going to match somebody else's, and always, always, always sink into, what am I learning? Always. So, that's everything I've got for you on feedback. I have 3 requests of you. I know that seems totally bodacious. I've only ever done 1 episode. I'm already asking for stuff. Yikes. The first is, in the comments, will you share with us either a time that somebody gave impeccable feedback, just in a really elegant, beautiful way, and something that you learned from that experience, or a time that you received feedback in a really horrendous way that also was a great point of learning for you. Second request is, if you found this to be useful and helpful, will you please share it by pressing the share button? And the third thing is, if you have any topics or issues, something you'd like me to address, be more than happy to. Email me at info@tanyageisler.com, and it's been my total honor. And as we say in my family videos, bye for now.